Montana, with its vast landscapes and endless sky, was Emily's home. There, in a small white house with a flower-filled garden, Emily experienced a childhood bathed in love and happiness. As the only child of devoted parents, she never lacked anything. Her childhood memories were filled with laughter and outdoor adventures, running among the trees, participating in town festivities, and enjoying endless summer days by the river. Every Saturday, the family would go on an excursion. They would hop into the old blue truck and drive along the rural roads, exploring every corner of their beautiful state. Emily, with her blonde hair blowing in the wind, always sat in the back seat, her eyes bright as she watched the changing landscape. These were simple moments, but filled with pure joy that she would treasure forever. As time passed, that joyful girl grew into a bright and determined young woman. Emily excelled in school, always striving to do her best. When she graduated from college, she did so with honors, opening doors to a promising future. It didn't take long for her to land a job at a prestigious company where she quickly made a name for herself. In just 18 months, she had been promoted twice, earning the respect and admiration of her colleagues. Despite her professional success, there was an emptiness in Emily's life that she couldn't fill with career achievements. She had always dreamed of having a large family, a house filled with children's laughter and love. However, romantic relationships were not her forte. Every attempt to find love ended in disappointment, leaving her with a sense of loneliness that even her successful career couldn't mitigate. Her parents, though proud of her achievements, began to worry. They wanted to see their daughter married with children of her own. "Emily, time waits for no one," her mother would often say during phone calls. "We'd love to see our grandchildren before it's too late." Emily understood their concerns. But love can't be found under pressure. On weekends, while her friends gathered with their families, Emily spent time in her garden, tending to the flowers that reminded her so much of her childhood. The nights stretched into solitary reflection, wondering if she would ever find what she longed for. Blind dates and dating apps offered nothing but fleeting and superficial encounters. However, Emily was not one to give up easily. She decided that if she couldn't find a life partner, she could still fulfill her dream of being a mother. She began researching adoption. The idea of offering a home to a needy child gave her a renewed sense of purpose. She started attending seminars, reading everything she could about the process, and talking to others who had gone through the experience. Adopting is not easy, a friend who had adopted 2 children warned her. It requires patience, unconditional love, and above all, a heart ready to face many challenges. But Emily was determined. She knew she had a lot of love to give and was willing to face any obstacle to achieve her dream. After many nights of reflection and searching, she signed up for a foster parent training course. It was a serious commitment that required time and dedication, but Emily knew she was ready. In the first session, she met other people who also wanted to adopt. There were couples, singles and widows, each with their own story and motivations. During the workshops, they learned about child development, attachment psychology, and the special needs of adopted children. Emily paid attention to every detail, taking notes and actively participating in the discussions. One day, during a coffee break, Emily approached a woman who seemed to have more experience on the subject. "Hi, I'm Emily," she introduced herself with a smile. "Nice to meet you. I'm Rosa," the woman replied. "Is this your first time at an adoption course?" "Yes, it is." "I'm a bit nervous, but very excited," Emily admitted. "Don't worry, we've all been through that," Rosa said with a reassuring smile. "I adopted my son 5 years ago. If you need any advice or just want to talk, I'm here." Emily felt grateful for Rosa's kindness, and over the following weeks they became good friends. They shared stories, hopes and fears, and Emily felt increasingly confident in her decision. Finally, the day came when Emily was ready to submit her adoption application. She decided to adopt a child from Ethiopia, a country with many needs where she knew she could make a difference. She immersed herself in learning about Ethiopian culture, its customs, language, and the difficult situation of many of its children. She submitted her application and waited patiently. But as often happens in life, things didn't go as planned. Just as everything was about to be finalized, the US government temporarily suspended adoptions from Ethiopia. The news was a hard blow for Emily, who had put her heart into this process. One December night, Emily was at home, reviewing emails and work documents when her phone rang. It was an unknown number. "Hello," she answered cautiously. "Hello, is this Emily?" asked a female voice on the other end of the line. "I'm Laura, a social worker from New York. I know this is unexpected, but we need your help." Emily felt a knot in her stomach. "What is it about?" "We have 5 girls, all sisters, who need to be adopted immediately. We can't separate them, and we are looking for someone willing to take on this challenge. We know it's a lot to ask, but would you consider it?" Emily was silent for a moment, processing the information. 5 girls. It was a huge responsibility, but also a unique opportunity. She thought about everything she had learned, her desire to be a mother and the faces of those children in the adoption photos. "Yes, I will consider it," she finally replied. "I want to know more about them." Laura explained that the girls had been abandoned by their biological mother, who couldn't care for them due to extreme circumstances. They needed a home filled with love and stability, something Emily was sure she could offer. "I understand," said Emily. "What do I need to do to start the process?" Laura explained the steps to follow, and Emily felt overwhelmed but determined. She knew this was the path she had to take. She spent the following weeks preparing her home and her heart to welcome the girls. She consulted with Rosa and other friends from the course who supported her every step of the way. Finally, everything was ready. Emily took a train to New York with a mix of nervousness and excitement. She had spent weeks preparing her home to receive the 5 girls, ensuring each had their own space and everything they needed to feel welcomed. However, nothing had prepared her for the avalanche of emotions she would feel upon meeting them in person. Upon arriving at the adoption center, Laura, the social worker who had called her, greeted her with a warm smile. "Emily, I'm glad to see you. Come, I'll introduce you to the girls." Emily followed Laura down a hallway to a playroom. There, 5 little girls were sitting on a rug, playing with building blocks and dolls. When Laura entered with Emily, they all looked up, their eyes full of curiosity and a bit of fear. "Girls, this is Emily," Laura said gently. "She is going to take care of you from now on." Emily stepped forward, feeling a lump in her throat. "Hello, I'm Emily," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "I'm very happy to meet you." The girls looked at her in silence for a moment. Finally, the eldest, Anna, stood up and approached Emily. "Are you really going to take us with you?" she asked, her eyes filled with hope and doubt. "Yes, Anna," Emily replied with a smile. "We are going to be a family." Anna nodded slowly, and gradually the other girls approached. Grace, the second oldest, looked at Emily with big, curious eyes. "Do you have a big house?" she asked. "I have a house with enough space for all of you," Emily replied. "Each of you will have your own room." The youngest, Natalie, hid behind her sisters, watching Emily shyly. Emily knelt down to her level. "Hello, Natalie. You don't have to be afraid. I'm here to take care of you." Natalie hesitated for a moment, but then took a small step forward and held Emily's hand. It was a small gesture, but for Emily, It marked the beginning of a deep connection. Over the next few hours, Emily spent time with the girls, playing and talking with them. She learned about their likes and dislikes, their fears and hopes. Gradually, the initial barrier of shyness began to fade. Laura approached Emily while the girls played. "They've been through a lot," she said softly. "Their biological mother couldn't care for them. They were very attached to her, but the circumstances were too difficult." Emily felt a pang in her heart, hearing this. "I will do everything I can to make them feel safe and loved," she promised. "I know," Laura replied. "That's why we chose you. You have the heart and determination to do it." Finally, the time came to take the girls to their new home. Emily helped them gather their few belongings and led them to the car she had rented. During the trip back, the girls were quiet, watching the scenery with attentive eyes. When they arrived at Emily's house, the girls looked around in awe. "It's so big," murmured Ella, the third oldest. "I want you to feel at home," said Emily. "We are going to decorate your rooms together, so they are exactly how you want them." The girls began to explore the house, and Emily followed, feeling a mix of joy and responsibility. She knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to face it. That night, after dinner, Emily took them to their rooms. Each had a new bed, colourful bedding and some toys that Emily had carefully chosen. "I hope you like it," she said with a smile. Anna, always the bravest, was the first to speak. "Thank you, Emily. We like it a lot." Emily felt warmth in her heart. "I'm so glad to hear that. Now, let's get some rest. Tomorrow will be a new and exciting day." As the girls settled into their beds, Emily turned off the lights and gently closed the doors. Returning to her own room, she sat on the bed and let the emotions of the day wash over her. She had taken a big step, and although she knew there would be challenges, she also knew she had found her family. That night, Emily slept with a sense of peace and hope. She had started a new chapter in her life, one filled with love and possibilities, and as the stars shone in the Montana sky, she knew she was not alone on her journey. She had her daughters, and together they would face whatever the future held. The house, with its spacious garden and tranquil surroundings, seemed the perfect place to start this new chapter. The girls, their eyes filled with curiosity and a bit of shyness, began to explore their new home. The first week was a mix of emotions. Emily worked hard to establish a routine, helping the girls feel safe and welcomed. Each morning she prepared a nutritious breakfast and reminded them that this was now their home. "I want you to feel comfortable here," she said as she served orange juice. The girls, though grateful, took time to adjust. Anna, the oldest, worried about her younger sisters and tried to be a protective figure. Grace and Ella, the twins, were more reserved, while Sophia showed constant interest in everything new. Natalie, the youngest, followed her sisters with wide, expectant eyes. "Anna, would you like to help me decorate your room?" Emily asked one day, trying to break the ice. Anna nodded, and together they chose colours and decorations that reflected the girls' personality. "I like blue," Anna said shyly. "It reminds me of the sky on sunny days." "Blue is perfect," Emily replied with a smile. "We will make this room your haven." Meanwhile, Emily faced unexpected challenges. She coordinated school runs, medical appointments, and extracurricular activities, all while trying to balance her part-time job from home. The logistics of caring for 5 girls were overwhelming, but Emily remained steadfast. One day, after picking the girls up from school, Emily noticed that Natalie was particularly quiet. "Is everything okay, honey?" she asked while driving back home. Natalie didn't respond immediately. Finally, she murmured, "Some kids made fun of me at school today." Emily's heart ached. The other girls were also facing their own challenges. Anna struggled with the burden of being the oldest sister, feeling responsible for her sister's well-being. Grace and Ella faced the language barrier, trying to communicate in a school where few understood their accent. Sophia, although curious and open, found it difficult to make new friends. "It's hard being different," Grace commented one night during dinner. Emily nodded. "I know, and it's normal to feel that way. But remember, being different is also something beautiful. Each of you has something unique to offer." Slowly, the girls began to find their rhythm. Afternoons in the garden became a routine, filled with laughter and games that filled the air. Emily organized weekend excursions to explore the surroundings of Montana, from hikes in the mountains to visits to nearby lakes. "Do you remember the hike to Flathead Lake?" Emily asked one night as they looked at photos of their excursions. "Yes," Sophia replied excitedly. "The water was so clear and cold. I loved that day." Despite the happy moments, Emily couldn't ignore the attitude of some community members. The presence of 5 girls of different races did not go unnoticed, and Emily noticed looks and whispers around her. One day, at the grocery store, an elderly woman approached her and asked, "Are they all yours?" Emily took a deep breath. "Yes, they are my daughters." The woman frowned and walked away without saying anything else. Emily felt a knot in her stomach, but reminded herself that the most important thing was the love and security she could offer her daughters. The family also found support in unexpected places. Their closest neighbors, a young couple with 2 small children, became close friends. "If you need anything, don't hesitate to call us," they told Emily one afternoon as their children played together. "Thank you. That means a lot to us," Emily replied sincerely. Nights at home were filled with family activities. Emily introduced the tradition of movie nights, where they all cuddled on the couch with blankets and popcorn. "Tonight we'll watch one of my favorite movies," Emily would announce, and the girls would get excited at the prospect of a fun night. Over time, the girls began to feel more comfortable in their new environment. Smiles became more frequent and laughter more free. Emily watched with pride as her daughters grew and adapted, facing challenges with courage and finding joy in the little things. When the girls finished high school, Emily knew it was time to reveal the truth about their origins. She had carefully planned a special night where they could talk calmly and privately. She prepared a dinner with their favorite dishes and decorated the table with candles and fresh flowers. As the girls sat around the table, Emily felt a knot in her stomach. "There is something very important I need to tell you," she began, trying to keep her voice steady. They all looked at her with curiosity and a bit of concern. "I've always told you that your biological mother couldn't care for you," Emily continued, "but the truth is more complicated than that. Your parents didn't abandon you. In fact, they suffered a tragic accident while they were on a work trip. That's why you were sent to the foster center." The silence that followed was deep. Anna was the first to break it. "What do you mean, Mum?" she asked, her voice trembling. Emily took a deep breath. "Your parents died in a car accident. They were on a business trip and never returned. There were no other relatives who could care for you, so you were taken to the foster center where I found you." Grace, with tears in her eyes, said, "So, they never abandoned us?" Emily shook her head. "No, never. They always loved you, but life had other plans. I wanted to tell you this when you were older and could understand better." Tears began to run down the girls' cheeks. Natalie, the youngest, got up and hugged Emily. "Thank you for telling us, Mum." The others followed suit, surrounding Emily in a collective embrace, their tears mixing with words of gratitude and love. "Thank you for being our mother," Ella whispered, and Emily felt her heart fill with a deep and lasting love. After a long moment, they all sat down again. "I know this is a lot to process," Emily said softly, "but I want you to know that I will always be here for you. We are a family, and nothing will change that." Anna, wiping her tears, asked, "Can we talk more about them? What else do you know?" Emily nodded. "Yes, of course. I'll tell you everything I know. Your parents were incredible people. Your mother was a dedicated nurse and your father a talented engineer. They traveled a lot for their work, but they always found time to be with you." "I vaguely remember their faces," Sophia said. "It's like a blurry dream." "That's normal," Emily replied. "You were very young when it happened, but I have some photos and letters that might help you remember." She took out a box she had kept for years and placed it on the table. Inside were photos of their biological parents, letters that were never sent, and small keepsakes. The girls looked at the objects with awe and emotion, exploring each detail carefully. "These are the letters your parents wrote before each trip," Emily explained. "They always expressed how much they loved you and how much they looked forward to coming back home." Grace read one of the letters aloud, tears in her eyes. "Dear children, every day we think of you. Our work takes us far away, but you are always in our hearts. We love you more than words can express. We'll be back soon with hugs and kisses. Mum and Dad." Silence filled the room as each one reflected on the words. Finally, Emily spoke. "I wanted you to know the truth, but I also want you to know how much I love you. I chose to be your mother, and I have never doubted that decision." The girls nodded, feeling a mix of sadness for the loss and gratitude for the love and stability Emily had provided. "We love you, Mum," they said, almost in unison. That night, they continued to talk about the past, sharing memories and further strengthening their family bond. The conversations were deep and sincere, allowing each one to express their feelings and questions. Emily felt relieved to have revealed the truth and proud of her daughter's courage. She knew this was just the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one they would face together with love and understanding. And as the candles slowly went out, she knew they had taken an important step towards an even closer and stronger family. After years of dedication and sacrifices, Emily watched with pride as her adopted daughters graduated from college and began their professional careers. Each had found their own path, but always maintained a strong bond with the family Emily had built with so much love. One afternoon, the sisters gathered at Emily's house for a family dinner. While enjoying the meal, Anna, the eldest, stood up and asked for everyone's attention. "Mum, we want to talk to you about something very important," she said with a mysterious smile. Emily looked at her daughters, noticing their expectant faces. "Sure, Anna. What is it about?" Grace, always direct, took over. "We've been thinking about everything you've done for us, and we believe it's time to show you how grateful we are." "Yes," Ella added. "We want to do something special for you." Emily felt a mix of curiosity and excitement. "Girls, you don't have to do anything to show me your love. Seeing you happy and successful is enough for me." Sophia, the most emotional, shook her head. "Mum, this is something we want to do. For everything you've done, for all the sacrifices and unconditional love you've given us." Natalie, the youngest, approached and took her hand. "We've been planning this for a long time. We want you to accept our gift." Emily remained silent, moved by her daughter's seriousness. "Okay," she finally said. "What have you planned?" Anna took an envelope out of her purse and handed it to Emily. "Open this first." With trembling hands, Emily opened the envelope and found inside the deeds to 3 grocery stores. "What is this?" she asked, surprised. The adoption process had begun. Social services and the hospital were working together to facilitate Bill's transition to his new home. Laura and Juan were committed and eager to bring Bill home, but they knew there were necessary steps to ensure everything was done correctly. Anna, who had been by Bill's side from the beginning, became an invaluable source of support for the couple. "I know all this can seem overwhelming," Anna said one day as they met in the hospital waiting room. "But I'm here to help you every step of the way." "Thank you, Anna," Laura replied with a grateful smile. "We want to make sure we're doing everything possible for Bill." "I know," Anna nodded. "The first thing you should know is that Bill needs a consistent routine. It helps him feel safe and loved. There are also certain medical care procedures you need to follow, but I'll provide you with all the information you need." Over the following weeks, Anna spent a lot of time with Laura and Juan, showing them how to care for Bill and sharing her knowledge about his special needs. She explained how to prepare his bottle, the best way to cradle him to sleep, and how to interpret his signals when he was uncomfortable or in need of attention. "He's been through a lot," Anna said one day, while watching Bill fall asleep in Laura's arms. "But he's a strong boy. He just needs love and stability." Juan, sitting next to Anna, nodded thoughtfully. "We want to give him all that and more," he said. "We want him to know that we'll always be here for him." Anna smiled, feeling a deep connection with this couple who had decided to open their hearts to Bill. "I'm sure you will. And remember, you can always call me if you need anything. I'll be here for you and for Bill." The day of the official adoption was approaching, and the excitement in the air was palpable. Laura and Juan had decorated a room in their house for Bill, filled with soft colors and cozy toys. Every detail showed how much love and care they were willing to offer. Finally, the day came to sign the documents. Anna accompanied Laura and Juan to the courthouse, where they would meet with the judge and representatives from social services. "Everything is going to be fine," Anna said, squeezing Laura's hand as they waited to be called. When they entered the courtroom, the judge greeted them with a warm smile. "It's a pleasure to see such a committed and loving couple," he said. "We will ensure this process goes smoothly." The formality of the hearing contrasted with Laura and Juan's contained emotion. They signed the documents with trembling hands, but with the firm determination to do what was right for Bill. Anna watched with pride and relief as the judge officially declared Bill as their son. "Congratulations," said the judge, extending his hand to congratulate the couple. "You are now officially a family." Laura and Juan embraced, and Anna couldn't hold back her tears of happiness. It had been a long journey, full of challenges and moments of uncertainty, but now Bill had a family that would love and care for him forever. Back at the hospital, Anna helped prepare Bill for his final departure. She dressed him in the best clothes he had, ensuring he was comfortable and happy. "You're going to have a wonderful life," she whispered, as she cradled him for the last time. "I will always be here for you, even if not physically present." Laura and Juan arrived to take Bill home. "We can't thank you enough, Anna," Laura said, her eyes shining with tears. "You've given us the greatest gift of all." "You don't need to thank me," Anna replied with a warm smile. "Seeing Bill happy and loved is all I've ever wanted." As Laura and Juan took Bill away, Anna watched them leave, feeling a mix of sadness and joy. Although she was saying goodbye to Bill, she knew she had done the right thing. She had found a family that would love him unconditionally, and that was the most important thing. Laura and Juan's house was filled with light and love from the moment they brought Bill home. The room they had prepared for him was a cozy haven, with walls painted a soft blue and adorned with animal drawings. Bill, although still a baby, seemed to perceive the positive change in his environment. The first days were a period of adjustment for everyone. Laura and Juan took turns caring for him, quickly learning to interpret his needs and signals. "Have you seen how he smiles when we hold him?" Juan asked one night while placing Bill in his crib. "Yes," Laura replied with a smile. "It's like he knows he's home, that he's safe." Bill adapted well to his new home. His smile became more frequent, and his eyes sparkled with curiosity as he explored his surroundings. Laura and Juan were determined to give him all the love and stability he needed. Every day, they built new routines, establishing feeding, nap, and play schedules that helped Bill feel secure and loved. Anna, true to her word, remained a fundamental part of Bill's life. She visited regularly, bringing small gifts and offering valuable advice on his care. "Remember, Bill likes to be sung to before bed," Anna would say, while Laura nodded, grateful for the constant guidance. "Thank you, Anna," Juan said during one of her visits. "Your presence makes a big difference." "It's a pleasure," Anna would respond sincerely. "Seeing Bill so happy fills me with joy." The relationship between Bill and Anna continued to grow. Although he now lived with Laura and Juan, the connection he had formed with Anna did not fade. She was his godmother, a title she carried with pride and responsibility. During each visit, Anna made sure to spend quality time with him, reading stories, playing, and simply enjoying his company. Over time, Bill flourished in his new environment. His health improved remarkably, and his doctor visits became less frequent. Every small milestone of Bill's, from his first words to his first steps, was celebrated with joy and pride by Laura, Juan, and Anna. One afternoon, while playing in the garden, Laura watched Anna and Bill interact. "It's incredible how far he's come," she commented, looking at Anna with gratitude. "Yes, he's a strong boy," Anna replied, smiling as Bill ran towards her with a toy in hand. "And he's very lucky to have parents like you." Life in Laura and Juan's house was filled with laughter and love. Bill grew up surrounded by affection, unaware of the difficulties of his early days. The stability and love he received allowed him to develop fully, becoming a happy and curious child. His early years were marked by moments of learning and discovery, always under the watchful eyes of his parents and godmother. The family bond grew stronger with each passing day. Dinners were moments of unity, where Laura, Juan, and Bill shared their day and planned activities for the weekend. "Let's go to the park tomorrow," Juan would say, prompting Bill's excitement as he clapped and laughed. Anna's visits continued to be a highlight for Bill. "Aunt Anna!" he would shout joyfully whenever he saw her arrive. Anna would lift him in her arms and shower him with kisses, savoring every moment with him. As the years passed, Bill grew up without knowing the hardships of his early days. Laura and Juan told him his story when they felt he was ready, ensuring he understood how much they loved him and how fortunate they felt to have him in their lives. "You are our most precious gift," Laura would say, hugging him tightly. Bill, with the innocent wisdom of a child, looked at his parents and Anna with gratitude. "And I'm very happy to be with you," he would respond, showing a maturity that touched everyone. Bill's life was full of love and security, something Anna, Laura, and Juan had worked hard to ensure. As he grew, his bonds with his parents and Anna remained strong, creating a network of support and affection that would accompany him always. Years passed, and Bill became a promising young man. Thanks to the love and support of Laura, Juan, and Anna, he had overcome the difficulties of his early life. Now he was fulfilling his dream of becoming a doctor, inspired by the stories his parents told him about his origins and Anna's sacrifice. Bill had specialized in pediatrics and was one of the most respected doctors at the hospital where he worked, the same hospital where he had been left as a baby. One sunny afternoon, the hospital celebrated the anniversary of Bill's adoption. It was a special event for family and close friends. Laura and Juan had organized a small gathering in their garden, and Anna, of course, was the guest of honor. "It's amazing how time has flown," Juan commented while preparing the barbecue. "It seems like just yesterday we brought Bill home." "Yes," Laura replied, looking at their son with pride. "And look at him now, a full-fledged doctor. We couldn't be prouder." Anna, sitting at a table decorated with photos of Bill over the years, smiled with satisfaction. "I always knew Bill would do great things," she said, remembering the days she cared for him in the hospital. Bill, who was chatting with some of his medical colleagues who had also attended, approached the table where Anna, Laura, and Juan were sitting. "Thank you all for being here," he said with a warm smile. "This celebration is as important to me as it is to you. I wouldn't be here without the love and support of my family." "And we couldn't be happier to see you thrive," Laura responded, hugging him. The afternoon passed with laughter, anecdotes, and a deep sense of gratitude. Bill had prepared a small speech for the occasion. "I want to take this moment to thank everyone who has been a part of my life," he began. "To my parents for adopting me and giving me the love and stability I needed. To Anna for being my first caregiver and never stopping supporting me." Anna was moved by Bill's words. "I did what anyone with a heart would do," she said, her eyes shining with tears of happiness. "And seeing what you've become is the best gift I could receive." Bill continued, looking at everyone present. "My story is a testament to the power of love and compassion. I've learned that family is not only defined by blood ties, but by those who choose to love and care for us unconditionally." After the speech, the celebration continued with more food, music, and dancing. Anna and Bill shared a special moment together, remembering the tough days and celebrating the present. "I will never forget what you did for me, Anna," Bill said, holding her hand. "You will always be an essential part of my life." "And you will always be my little Bill," Anna replied, smiling through her tears. Bill and Anna's story is a testament to the transformative power of love. Through dedication and sacrifice, they had changed not only their own lives, but also the lives of everyone around them. Bill's adoption had created a united and strong family, capable of overcoming any obstacle. As the afternoon turned into night, the garden lights softly glowed, creating a magical atmosphere. The celebration of Bill's adoption anniversary not only marked a milestone in his life, but also served as a reminder of the importance of family and community. Anna withdrew to a quiet corner of the garden, reflecting on the journey she had traveled with Bill. She remembered the first day she saw him in the hospital nursery, so small and vulnerable. Now he was a strong and compassionate man, dedicated to helping others. "Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of your life," Anna murmured, looking at the starry sky. "I could never have imagined how far you would go." Bill, sensing Anna's presence, approached and hugged her. "Thank you, Anna. All of this is possible because of you." The celebration continued late into the night, filled with love and hope for the future. Bill and Anna's story was a reminder that, with love and support, any adversity could be overcome. In the warmth of that night, family ties were renewed, not defined by blood, but by shared love and compassion. Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this touching story about Anna and Bill. It has been a journey filled with emotions, from despair and fear to hope and recovery. Anna's dedication and unconditional love truly show us the power of human compassion and how one person can make a difference in another's life. If this story touched your heart as much as it did mine, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss more inspiring content like this. Your comments and opinions are very important to me, so let me know below what you thought of the story and how it impacted you. Remember, we can all be an Anna in someone's life, offering our love and support in the toughest times. And who knows, maybe a simple act of kindness can change someone's life forever. Thank you for joining me today and for being part of this incredible community. See you in the next video. Take care and stay safe.